yeah. Ooh, Lord. And if you don't give it, you won't get it. That's right. I give her all my love.
Hey, run that shit up, Trace.
I came from the streets to the shy, where wicked and evil collide. If it was illegal, we tried ambition to get us a piece of the pie. Had so many demons inside, was them in the gleam of my eye, killing my innocence, all of my vision of reading the sign and seeing demise. We've been deprived of basic necessities, that and cocaine, a satanic recipe. Refusing to claim it as destiny, sins of the fatherly children in jeopardy. The family addiction affected me, affliction of prison, the death of me. Not even the thought of my legacy, living in hell, how you hating your pedigree. Been definitely holding the grudge, letting it go cause no hoe is in us. If we don't connect then you know what it was. One West and no cowards is rolling with us. Steps was all in the mud, feeling the pain like salt in the cut. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love, yeah. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. I get an honor to command and Jenna Johanna for being the armor, protecting the message, delivered the Abba. Straight from the Father, he gave it to you, ain't making excuse. Though Satan is loose, kept lacing his boots, training and raising the troops. Perfecting the method of 7-1 West in the hairs was able to prove. Ain't stressing them niggas that never can step in the stand and state in the truth. My people could never imagine the hardest of winners you lasted. Extending the realest compassion for niggas that should have been fitted for caskets. How could you ever ignore the nigga who slept on the floor and was ready for war? Whenever it called, better this weapon is drawn. Election is sure, edging this war, front of projects of the Bronx. Now representing the Lord, the water for blessing us all.
Backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about? Hey,
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade just line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All they niggas wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a whole study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the starter and I show her. She could never get a piece whole. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit mugger. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade just line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you're scoring off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UBK play for keys, nigga. Command to get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I was stalking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga, I popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade just line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, a hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. I'm stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you. From Westworld. Let's get it.
Gon' be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Stood against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But there's power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest, they gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high, now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Birdies, bust their head.
Shalom Israel, it's the Isupk Chicago Thursday history class. You understand? So we're just gonna jump right into it. So what I've been seeing lately on the online is that we have these nasty, stinking Arabs, ones that believe in Islam and Allah and the cobblestone or whatever the case may be, going out on the streets and teaching the people. Like, since when have we ever seen these Arabs, legitimate Arabs? I'm not just talking about people that go follow Islam. I mean, like, their religion, people that started the religion. You understand? Going out and holding what I would call camp. You understand? They out there, 4, 5, 6, however many men going out and trying to defame the Bible. You understand? Try to take away the meaning, the importance of the scriptures, saying that, of course, their religion is more important, and their prophet Muhammad is the savior amongst saviors, even greater than Christ himself. which is just all blasphemy, man. At the end of the day, it's all garbage and it's all lies. Everything about that stinking, filthy religion is hypocrisy and plagiarism from the Bible.
Right.
You understand? They plagiarize the scriptures that the Most High gave to us and to the prophets and to the people, and it just can't be tolerated. So today's class, we're going to go into the history and the how Islam came about. You understand? So what we'll do is we'll play the video so y'all can see these nasty Arabs actually going out and trying to teach and think they know the Bible. And of course, they know the Bible more than Christians do.
Right.
Christians don't know their own book. You understand? But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to go out and teach something, you have to have the wisdom to be able to back it up or know the people that you're going to debate. So, like I said, because Arabs understand the point of Christianity and how Christians don't know nothing, it's easy for what they say to sound correct. You understand? So they use the Bible to confound Christians the same way we do.
Right.
You understand? But the thing is that confounding the Christians the same way is confounding a 6-year-old with math. You understand? They think 17 times 6 is 7 sometimes. You don't like they say the dumbest things because of course they don't know nothing. Right. Same thing is the Christians don't know nothing. They're that 5-year-old. You know that show they used to have, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? That's how we in UPK play mess around with these Christians. You understand? Are we smarter than 5th graders? Yes. Are we smarter than Christians? Yes. Are Arabs smarter than Christians? Unfortunately, yes. You understand? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the video so y'all can see these Arabs going out and trying to debate people about their great ruler and King Muhammad. Bear with us. You understand? But like I was saying, until this gets back up on TV. Yeah, one of them see it. There's one of them just hearing it. So that's the whole point, is that really what it is that the Bible is the first thing to ever be brought forth to teach any type of belief system or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So with that, we'll be over here. All right. Well, brothers, still working on that. What we have to understand as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, anything that's outside of the doctrine of Isupk has been given to people since 1969 under Community Janahana is the only wisdom that is necessary. You understand? So we need to stop joining all these other religions, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, astrology, and all these different types of things that we want to lean towards and walk after and follow, instead of following the one and only true God, which is the Lord. You understand? And following the law, statutes, commandments in this Bible is the only way we're ever going to get out of this hellhole called America and around the globe, is being in a low state. We need to understand our history. And the thing is that Islam is not our history. Our history is in the Bible. The Arabs can have Islam, Let them have that. It was made for them. It was made by them. It will always be made for them. You understand? Because of course you know that Islam teaches that anyone that believes in Allah can be saved, or whatever the case may be. Well, damn. Then there's no difference from Islam than Christianity, basically. As long as you just follow what is in their book, you good. You follow what's in Christian's book, you good. It doesn't work that way. Right. You understand? Every race of people is different. We aren't supposed to be over here joining together under one big banner and singing Kumbaya and Hakuna Matata. Those are things that don't need to be happening. Whenever you're ready. All right, so with that, we'll watch this video. Scratch the video. We just didn't know speaking. I know. That was on YouTube. Oh, so I'm play on the chip. Pull it up and watch it on the TV. Yeah. On the YouTube. That's what I figured we were doing in person. It made more. That's what we always do. Bear with us, Israel. Satan is at work. He always is. Put it on the screen. Let me just listen. You go back to where I didn't even see it through now. So why the hell he say the Lord's the prayer of Israel in that? He did. You know, said that just goes to show you that these Arabs don't stay out here trying to recruit people. You understand? They over here trying to believe and say that we need to come to Islam or whatever the case may be, and that Muhammad didn't plagiarize the Bible and that the Bible did not predate the Quran. That is complete and utter lies. You understand? We're gonna bring out the history of it real quick so everyone can understand how big and how much nonsense what he just said truly was. You understand? So, well, I need you to be in the book. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read out of a book. If I could. It's from Babylon to Timbuktu. You understand? This is a book that I would advise every Black, Hispanic, Native Indian brother and sister to get. It's from Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. You understand? This is page 44. The brother's gonna read a good portion of this part because it's just talking about all of Islam in entirety. You understand? Diligent work, efforts. You already know historians that love and truly admire history, they make sure to get all. To do what basic people normally do. and that's just because everything happens the way it happens. Go ahead.
But his imagination was superlative.
Wait, whoa. But what was what?
His imagination was superlative.
You understand? So even though this full-grown man, or whatever the case, even though he could not read or write, he had an outstanding imagination. You understand? I mean, he had a knack for telling stories, creating things out of nothing, and so forth and so such. Go ahead.
Muhammad was an extraordinarily handsome man and eloquent in motivating men with the power of words.
You understand? So even though he could not read or write, he was still very good with words. You understand? He was able to, if he's able to gather men, gather crowds in whatever type of manner he's speaking is, that means he must not have been dumb. Right. Meaning he had a high intellect. He just wasn't given, he just never learned how to read and write. You understand? To him, it might just not have been necessary. Because apparently he had the knowledge and he had the wisdom and the mind to do it if he wanted to. But apparently he didn't see the need in reading and writing. Right? Go ahead.
In the early years of Muhammad's life, he passed his time as a shepherd boy. Mm-hmm. We must remember that many successful men have arisen from insignificant and humble conditions. Mm-hmm. Watching the sun by day and the stars by night left opportunity for Muhammad to contemplate in solitude.
You understand? So he was like a what do you call an introverted person? You understand? He really, he'd rather spend his time alone and think of things and try to create stories, whatever the case may be. A lot of people watch, introverts are people that like to be alone. They're really not big on crowds, but they're great at speaking when they do open up. You understand? And then you have the extroverted people that are always social butterflies, what you'd like to call them in today's time. But that's what Muhammad was. He was a person that just liked to be alone outside underneath the apple tree, looking at the stars or just staring into the sky and the clouds or whatever the case may be for peace. And because that's what gave him peace to think. You understand? Everyone has their safe place or thinking place. You understand? Some people just think better maybe with some headphones on, listening to music. Some might think better just playing a video game or reading a book. Whatever brings someone peace, that's where they are able to get comfortable enough to think and process things on their own. And Muhammad just like to do it under the stars, which is actually a great place to do it for real. Go ahead.
After Muhammad became a camel driver, he traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt.
You understand? So at the end of the day, he ended up, becoming basically a merchant. You understand? He was driving camels. He was riding camels, going around, selling and things, trading things. It was a way to make money. You understand? He had a caravan, so I mean, he had a good amount of people with him, right? And he traveled across the Middle East. He's going to all these different locations, trying to buy and sell from these other, people, Persians, Egyptians, so forth and so such, like any good hustler would. Right. Go ahead.
Transacting business with merchants of and members of other sects. Mm-hmm. He interrogated them concerning the tenets of their religion.
You understand? So what he did is he went. My point. The key word is it said that he interrogated them. He interrogated all these people that he went meet up with when he's doing his caravan, and the people he met. He'd interrogate them, which means probe them for information about their religions. It didn't say about anything else. It didn't say about, just trying to connect with the people. He just wanted to learn the basis and the premise of whatever the faith that those people had in that area, right? He did this everywhere he was going. If anyone's been to the police station getting asked questions by cops, you know how an interrogation is. You know how that goes. You understand? He was basically like 12, like Nasty Nate going around and interrogating people along with them purple pansies. You understand? Go ahead.
He frequented the environment of the Jews.
But he frequented where?
The environment of the Jews.
He frequented the environment of the Jews. Ain't that about a bee? You understand? That means he enjoyed learning the customs of Israel, our customs.
Right.
You understand? The Bible. That's the one that he was frequently with, learning and interrogating the Israelites about their belief system, their culture, their core, everything. Go ahead.
Mostly because they were merchants and in omnipresent ethnic group. Because he could not read or write, his ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him.
You understand? So this is only helping the point. It said even though he couldn't read or write, but since he was so good at listening, that he was intent. He was focusing on every last detail that was being told to him by the Israelites. Go ahead.
Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam.
Okay, we got it piece by piece that back together. Go ahead.
Start
of what you did the last sentence.
Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion.
You understand? It said Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jews. You understand? Of course, they're going to say religion because anything that's faith-based in the society can be called a religion. But it's not a religion; it's a culture. You understand? Don't get it misconstrued. So he said he extracted it, meaning what? He took bits and pieces of it out. And how do you extract something? I go to my fridge and I extract a nice cold beer. That's what I do. I take that beer for myself, or I grab some food for me. I'm taking bits and pieces out of the whole totality of it. So the totality of it was the Bible in itself. And he extracted, meaning he took certain parts of what he was told out of that and said, you know what, I like that. I can use this. Go ahead.
And compounded it with his new religion, Islam.
And compounded it, meaning this how you put it together with his new religion, Islam. So no one could ever tell me that the Bible or the Quran did not come from the Bible. You understand? I'm not saying it came from Christianity, but it came from the Bible in itself. Like I said, remember, he had a good imagination. He picked and chose. Like if you go to if you go learn the belief systems of Christianity, and you go learn the belief systems, and I say Christianity only because they use the Bible. I'm not saying they know the truth. They don't believe in the right way to believe in the Bible, but they use the Bible. You understand? So the fact that they use the Bible in the Islam use the Quran, but if you look at them neck to neck, they teach the same nonsense. They both teach the 10 Commandments. Okay, well, damn, that's almost too similar. They teach everyone can come together and join as long as you obey the God of the book. You understand? They believe in anyone can be forgiven. Repentance is for everybody. Well, what differences are there? Apparently, the only difference they have is the name of the God. Christians don't even have a name. They say God. And then Islam says Allah. That's the only two differences you can really find for real in each of those religions. Why? Because Muhammad stole scriptures out the Bible and put them in the Quran. Right. You understand? I'm not saying that Christianity is right with what they teach in the Bible, but it's coinciding with nonsense in Islam. Go ahead.
From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 46.
Yeah.
Muhammad spent many days in the hills outside of Mecca. He was immersed deeply in the deplorable conditions of his people, and he wanted to lead them away from moral turpitude and idolatry.
You understand? So, which you can give him credit for it. You understand? It's a good thing when someone in your own race sees the plight or things that are being done wrong and wants to do something right. You understand? In his own twisted way, he at least wanted to do something for his people. You understand? So he saw the nasty state that people were living in over Mecca, and he saw all the things they were doing that are abominable, like idolatry, men's worshiping idols. You understand? Or one man sleeping with another man's wife. Certain different types of things he saw, and he knew it shouldn't be like that, so he wanted to go do something about it. It's commendable. I'll give him that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like, if I may too, sir, just to add to what you're saying, it's funny how, you know, the black so-called the blackjacks who think they practice Islam, they want to say that, you know, Muhammad loves, you know, he's here for everybody who cares about, you know, the Quran and Allah and all that. But this book is telling you right here that he only did it for his people, just like we say Christ only came for his people. You understand? Why can't they understand that concept about, you know, Christ and what he came, why he did the things he did?
Understand? That's heavy. You understand? What he wanted to do was basically, in a way, just he wanted to, like I said, if he wasn't born rich or anything like that. He was born in a low state, and he ended up climbing his way up. So what he did was he found a way to climb the hell up. You get followers, you get people in the whole belief system that supports you, and you become the head of that so-called sect. You're gonna live a pretty decent life, right? You understand? And that was his way out,
right?
Basically, the same way that was his way out of the hood. If you want to put it in that terms, right? He found a hustle, and he, you know, came up on it. Can't be too mad, except that he plagiarized our book.
Right.
That's the thing that's irritating. He could have falsified whatever he wanted to falsify. He had an imagination to do so. He didn't have to steal a whole religion or a whole belief core, right? But of course, you know, it changed through times, because he was doing it for only Arabs at that time. But then through time, he's like, well, I can get more followers, or just give it to everybody.
Right. It's a lot, sir. That's the same thing you just brought up earlier, like you said, how you said Christianity and Islam is the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is stemmed from, of course, the Bible, and you know, Christ trying to raise up his people. Islam and the Quran is the exact same thing through Muhammad, but now everybody can be a part of these things because it's all about money. It's money driven.
Right. It's not about people. It's about the bread.
Right.
Go ahead.
Time. It seemed to him that angel Gabriel appeared, commissioning him to articulate a new religion to substitute for the old.
So what his story is, and it's the name. Like, you couldn't even pick a different damn name. He decided to go say that the angel Gabriel, the archangel Gabriel, came down and decided to speak to him. Oh, weird. Because if you go into the scriptures, you should know that angels come down and speak to Israelites. And it's like, why would, out of all the names, Gabriel was Gabar. You understand? Gabriel, and the Hebrew name for Gabriel is Gabar Ya'ala. You understand? So basically, he's saying that an angel from the Israelites, or the Jews' belief core, came and talked to the first Arab ever. Damn, like what he's doing, he's trying to make himself like this most special being to be on the face of the earth ever. That he got one of the Lord's angels to come down and talk to him. All right. You understand? The crazy thing is that, think about this. The language of English that we speak today in America, and now it's being adopted in almost everywhere else, this language wasn't around like that. If he was learning from the Jews, that means they were talking in their native tongue, which would be what? Hebrew. You understand? That's why I said Gabar Ya'ala. So how this even shows you that, you know, the devil, the so-called devil the Bible speaks of, knows these things as well. Because how would they have been able to know it was Gabriel? Because with this historical event, the word Gabriel wouldn't be technically Gabriel. When they saw it and they dug up the archives, it would have been Gabar Ya'ala. You understand? That just goes to show you how nasty these devils are and how much they do truly know. But for him to say that it was Gabar Allah that came, meaning that he had enough attentive skills, regardless of reading and writing, to know how to spell Gabar Allah. Just because you don't know how to read or write does not mean you don't know how to spell. He had to be able to tell this to other people. So go ahead.
Time. Missioning him to articulate a new religion to substitute for the old.
Oh my. So what he's saying is that this angel from the Lord that serves the nation of Israel came down to an Arab and said, let's start a new religion and say, screw the one that was before that. So he's saying that Gabar Allah came down and said, know what? Screw the Bible. Screw what Christ taught. That's what he's basically saying. If Gabar Allah told him to say get rid with the old, that means the Old and the New Testament are pushed out. That means the teachings of Jesus Christ are pushed away. And now it's just Muhammad on the spot. Every prophet that ever exists just got negated. And now Muhammad just gets to be the pinnacle. Convenient, ain't it? Sounds pretty damn convenient to me. Go ahead.
Incidentally, Gabriel was the same angel who appeared in a vision to the Hebrew prophet Daniel.
Oh, I love being me sometimes. This same angel, it just happened to be the same one that went and talked to Daniel in the scriptures. But due to that error that we just saw in the video, he said the Quran came basically before the Bible. Mm-hmm. It wasn't plagiarized off the Bible. But how could it be not plagiarized off the Bible if the same angel that spoke to Muhammad spoke to someone in the Bible?
Right.
You understand? You can't have it two ways. These Arabs are over here punking people that don't know the Bible. Again, punk for no good reason. If you could, you understand? These nasty, disgusting, filthy Arabs are trying to coerce you to follow their religion and dismiss what they should be following, which is these laws, statutes, commandments in the Bible. You understand? That's the whole matter about that. It's crazy that they just said that, man. I'll never get over that. You understand? That Gabar Allah, the archangel, went to Muhammad and said, give a middle finger to that Bible and throw it in the trash. You that nigga now, Muhammad. All right. Damn. That just sounds perfect, don't it? This angel has made me the top dog. Yeah, the other three are back there. Go ahead.
Muhammad gradually came to believe that he was a prophet.
Because of that, he became to believe that he was a prophet. You understand? Muhammad just that guy, apparently. Then that's the sixth like that. You understand? So he's saying that the angel of the Israelites came down and said, you was a prophet now, my boy. And just went about his business. Okay. That sounds utterly convenient. Because if that's the case, I'm not, could be wrong here, but it's like, how many of the other angels are mentioned in the Quran by name that came from Hebrew? If that was the case, well, shouldn't all the angels that came down and gave messages to the Bible, should they just be gone too? They're part of the scriptures. You can't get rid of the Bible without getting rid of all their teachings, which included the angels. Did it not? That's my point. Go ahead.
And expounded his religion to members of his family. He went out to the holy temple to preach to the multitudes that gathered to worship the idols. With these words, the first phase of the Islamic Revolution began.
The Islamic Revolution. What's a revolution? Let me ask you this. What's the definition of revolution? Let's get the definition of revolution, because if not, it means, if I'm not mistaken, it means to overcome or to overthrow, to usurp. It's a revolt. Yeah, it's a revolt. You understand? So basically, what he's doing is he's trying to have the Quran usurp authority against the scriptures, against the true living God, according to the Bible. You understand? That just seems utterly nasty. Go ahead.
I got the definition.
Go ahead.
Revolution, a forcible overthrow of government or social order in favor of a new system.
You understand? So what he wanted to do is he's using this new system, this new belief system he created to overthrow the people in power in Mecca. You understand? Because he didn't like what he saw. So he said, "No, what? With these followers now and this multitude I gathered with under this religion, I can become top dog as long as I get rid of these corrupt bastards."
Right.
Regardless if they're corrupt or not, you know, that's their people. I don't give a damn. Be corrupt all they want. But go ahead.
Wakan. He went out. Oh, it's like that. It's like
Here, it's
Allah, Allah Muhammad, Rasul Allah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah.
So he's going to they goddamn the people in charge, and he has this multitude saying this prayer or this salute or whatever the case may be, saying what?
There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah.
Saying, like, did he have to put himself into this? Like, he seems pretty self-serving to me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because if you go to the Bible, like you should, you see that these prophets don't go around here and be boasting themselves up on the same, especially in the same sentence as the Lord. We don't say, "Oh, the Lord is so great, and so am I." Like, and you make people say that. You understand? You think about the salute that we give in the Isupk, we don't even say an individual's name. You understand? We just say the prayer to bless anyone else. It's not a self-serving matter. This is all about giving to the people, giving to each other, brotherhood and sisterhood. It has nothing to do with our own self-serving nature. That's why, or if it did, then we would. That's the case, then we would have put command and Jannah in the prayer that we salute everybody to. Do we do that? Hell no, because we're not going to put no man on the same level as God, the Most High. Hell to the no. But Allah over here in his self-serving, nasty ways made sure to put himself in the same light as their God. Well, that sounds pretty wrong in my eyes. If God's the only God, then you don't need to be in the prayer. You're making people worship God and you. That's what happened. Now, not only do they follow and worship Allah, I'm saying quotes because he don't exist. And then now they're also worshiping Muhammad at the same time every time they say those words. But go ahead.
Wakan. Page 46. Incidentally, by this time, the Hebrew Old Testament had been translated into Arabic.
So convenient. Why though? Didn't Gabriel or Gabriel just tell Muhammad to cast away the old belief? So if that's the case, why have it translated into Arabic? Why? Why, people? Why would he translate a Bible or a book that was supposed to be done away with into their language? Right. It's an irrelevant act if that was the case. Right. Because it has relevance. That means the relevance behind that is he wanted to see and figure out more of the scriptures, right? Of what the beliefs of the Israelites were. You understand? Because if they didn't, because he couldn't memorize the entire belief system in his amount of shortcomings. You understand? We in this truth 10, 15 years and still are learning something new from the general on Thursday class. You understand? Or learning something new from Quinn and Jannah. That's the whole point. We're still always learning. There's no way he could have memorized everything and learned everything just by being with them for a couple hours on end, taking them here or talking to them here and there. So what he needed to do is he needed to translate that book back into their religion, into their language, so he can pull more things out of it and put it in his new religion. You understand? That's the whole point.
It's like, if I may, would you say this is kind of the same tactic that the oppressor did, using the Old English, knowing that we didn't know how to read Old English, to kind of make it a tactic to translate certain scriptures the way that we didn't understand, but they knew how to manipulate it?
That's the whole shit. Not only that, you know, I think that the devil, the way he did it was he didn't even let us learn how to read it at all.
Right.
We were the entire race of Black, Hispanic, Native Indians were subjugated to not be able to learn to read or write. You understand? And then after 7-8 generations, now you don't know how to read your own language, and you can't read the new language that the devil got, the oppressor has. So now the only thing you ever learn is whatever they gave you. You understand? But with this, in this aspect, you got to understand, to translate, for him to translate the scriptures from Hebrew into Arabic didn't take that many people. Just be real. All you need to do is have 1 or 2 scholars, 2 people. So if you let them know, they're gonna know why the hell. But you know, it's a hierarchy of evil.
Right.
At the end of the day, Muhammad on top. He gets his family members. Of course, they're gonna be in the game with him no matter what. They boost their whole family into the riches. Then he finds some people that can translate the language into his language, and they just get on the higher payroll. Keep your mouth shut about this. You can be up top with me, or under me, but with me. You feel me? So he didn't need the entire race of people to learn that language, or to know that he was having the book translated into Arabic. That could have been kept away from the people. What the hell they need to know that? Yeah, because at the end of the day, they'd start learning or thinking like, well, this is pretty similar to what the Jews around the corner teach. You understand? Because then they'd really be able to say, oh, they are so close together. Go ahead.
Wakan. And Arabs were rapturously pleased to read about their great ancestors in the story of the Hebrew patriarchs. This fact alone helped Muhammad to inspire in the Arabs the feeling of nationalism and racial pride.
You know what I'm saying? So what he wanted to do was so conniving. Because it doesn't, like, what he basically did was use a prophecy out of the Bible to uplift his people. You understand? That means what? That means he knew that the prophecies in the Bible of old, before his time, came true. You gotta understand. Then the time of Moses, I'd say the time of Moses, you gotta think Moses split the Red Sea. All these other races of people existed at this time. You understand? So they must have heard the stories of the Jews or the Hebrews escaping out of captivity from the Africans, the Egyptians. That would have been a worldwide thing. They knew the power of the Hebrew God. That's why he needed to use a Hebrew angel to be the one to reveal to him that he's a prophet now, to put him on the same level as the Israelites. You understand? Like it's conniving as hell. And so with that, this strategy, if obviously it works, see how they succeeded like a mug over there. You understand? Look at Dubai.
Right.
Look at Dubai in itself. That's the place. That's one of the places on this earth that almost everyone would want to go to visit. And that came from the belief system that Muhammad imparted in his people through our teachings, our prophecies, because he wanted to uplift his people. Go ahead.
Khan. And racial pride. Sir, if I could, like this is again where it's talking about how, he was trying to instill, national racial pride in his people. Yet again, I still don't understand why, blacks are becoming, part of the Islamic religion. When Islam never ever had anything to do with black people, it always had something to do with Arabs.
Exactly, like ever. If it's not apparent already in the days of old, all these different belief structures by all these different types of races of people were only about the uplifting of that individual race. Right. Obviously, Israelites had, the Bible. It was just it's just Israel. That's why the prayer, that idiot on the video said it, that hear, O Lord of Israel. O Lord of Israel. That's the whole point. That the Bible is all about Israelites. It might mention other races. That's fine, but it does not mean that the Lord is here for them. Right. He just has a job for these other races of people, and that's supposed to be to serve us, serve the Israelites, or the blacks, Hispanics, and Indians of now. You understand? You have Egyptology. It's in the name. It's literally in the name. Egyptology. Kemet. That's for Africans. Those nasty, big-headed rhinoceros foot. Every time Cap says it, it imparts in me. Right. You understand? That's what that religion is for. You got Buddhism. Is for like Buddha. Buddha would be your Chinese, right? Your Chinese folks. Then you got the elephant, Ganesh, which is what your all these religions are all made for these individual races. Right. You understand? But through time, I don't know how it just became apparent that everyone just always wants to be together, and they would slowly alter the doctrine just a tad bit so more and other people could come in. You understand? And that's just how you see now. But the thing is that the so-called blessings that these other races would get through the teachings of another race would never reach them. You understand? For example, like if you not an Israelite, you try to follow our culture, you aren't going to be imparted the same blessings and love because it's not meant for you. Right? It's just not meant. It's not meant for you. Same way you're just going to be, treated a little bit less. You go into imagine a Caucasian person going and joining Kemet or Egyptology. I don't know if they'd let them join, but I wouldn't be surprised. But they wouldn't receive the same type of treatment from the people that it actually pertains to. It's like, who are you to try to claim what's mine? You understand? We go over to Islam. Yeah, it's ours. We're gonna go circle that cobblestone. Stupid.
So my concern, just hitting on what you was just saying. The Caucasian man, he would agree that life started, in that region or in that area, but he would still never call himself that, that area, because he knows that he has a forefather that he descended from. He's not from a landmass. The blacks over here in America, we the ones who think that because we at one point in time were on a landmass that we have to call ourselves after the people or after the tribe that was in that landmass. When even though we, migrated to that area, long before. So I just find it crazy how nobody else, even though, according to everybody, the original man or what the black say, came from that area. Nobody else cares to call themselves that area. The Asian man does it. You know what I'm saying? Even the Muslims, the Muslims, the only reason the Arabs say that they from that area because they want to say that they was the Egyptians. So that's just crazy. But us, we just got to be black. Kemet and all this stuff.
Right. No matter where a Chinese person goes or lives, or even if they're born in this, if a Chinese man or woman is born in America, they're not going to call themselves Americans. Right. They're going to say, no, I'm Chinese. or you have an African, or if you have a Caucasian born over in Africa, they're not gonna be like, yeah, I'm African. No, like you lily white. You are not going to claim that you them. Not. But black folks, we over here wearing the Star Spangled Banner on the 4th of July every damn year. Like this place was always a great home. Like what in the are you thinking? We were slaves for 400 odd years or whatever the case may be, and still are today. Like you realize it was only like your great grandma got her teeth impaled to eat food out of a what's that? Out of what's that pig? Pig food?
Yeah.
What's that called? Out of a trough. Or we're getting raped by the Caucasians. You understand? And your men were being murdered and slayed, and you were picking cotton. Like this was your great grandma, right? Or your great grandpa going through all these trials and tribulations in life. Like there's some elderly, there's some grandmas or grandpas old enough right now that still had to see slavery. Probably coming to an end real soon on that because it's been so long from the fifth cap, the chains. But you acting like we've been just free to own this place and be a part of this place since the conception of it. Like you don't like your mom or your grandma right now heard stories from her mom about being a slave. Think about that. Your grandma can tell you some nasty things that her mom went through, and then you coming around 60 years later, 70 years later, wearing the same Star Spangled Banner that these devils were wearing while they were lynching us, while they were destroying our people. Like you don't see the stupidity in this. Like, that's disrespectful to your great grandma. You know, you disrespect to every time your grandma see you wearing them stripes. You dishonor her. You spitting on your great grandma's grave. You understand? You just pissing on it, digging it up, having a good party with the corpse. At this point, you're just that disrespectful. You understand? That's just filthy. And you take pride in it. You understand? You out there on the beach on whatever nasty location you live in. You got to drive to downtown to get to the beach, at least in Chicago. You understand? Or you might make it to Rainbow Beach. You know, it's probably as far as it really goes for real. But too much shootings happen there. Most people will go downtown, right? Or they'll go farther on the northern side over like Belmont and stuff like that. You're gonna go over to where it's more safe. Why? Because you truly want to be a Caucasian, right? You love them more than you love your own. You don't fight and stand up against injustice. You don't make no difference to the communities. You just live your life, celebrate the holidays of America, and where you're making America great again. And be just like goofy old Kanye West when he went and met with Donald Trump. The pinnacle of racism in the White House, openly. Keyword. Go ahead.
Because they had read the Hebrew scriptures that Ishmael was to become a great nation.
You said that they read the what?
The Hebrew scriptures that Ishmael was to be a great nation.
You see how it didn't say the Christianity scriptures or the Christian scriptures? It said the Hebrew scriptures. Hebrew is the language that Israel spoke. You understand? So that just goes to show you the Bible in itself is for Hebrews, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It has nothing to do with the Caucasian race. It has nothing to do with the Arabs or Chinese or Japanese. It's for one individual group of people, and that's the one. Those are the ones in slavery today. You understand? The same ones getting lynched, deported by ICE, getting pushed to reservations. All these are the people that this is meant for. You understand? And then what I want you to do in that on the last paragraph, just read the one on the final page. In there, it has the prayer of Allah and the prayer of the Lord, the comparison of the Israelites and the comparison of the Arabs prayer. See it? Should be quotes. I'm going to show you how Israel prays. We don't pray about selfish acts. We don't put ourselves in the prayer right next to the Lord. We give all homage to the Lord at all times. And you'll see how close the parallels of the Hebrew prayer is to the Islamic prayer for Allah and Muhammad. Can't forget him, he's in there, right? We're going to show you the parallels to show you how much more he stole from us. Go ahead.
This is the Israel prayer. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Hear, O Israel,
the Lord our power, the Lord is one.
You understand? That's the Hebrew prayer. That's the Israelites' prayer to give up, respect and loyalty and homage to the Most High. Now here, or Islam's. Go ahead.
The Muhammadan slogan is as follows: there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet of Allah. It's funny how he just got to keep putting himself in.
Like this man cannot not put himself out there. Like, if I haven't ever heard of self-exposure ever before, this man is his own MVP. You understand? It's like a woman out around today's time saying she's a bad bitch. But Muhammad apparently was too. You understand? He's never gonna let you forget it. You understand? So we'll drop that. We'll grab some I believe that was it. We'll grab some precepts to go over some of these concepts. I would like to go back and forth, but there's just so much information. Might as well get the information out first, and then we'll bring the scriptures out to hit on individual topics that we just read. So we'll start with is the idols, right? No. Let's start with. Do we really even need the banishment? They're not really claiming them to be us.
Well, they are. They was claiming that the story of Ishmael is why they.
Yeah, that's how he uplifted the people. But I know they be always here calling us brother and touching. Just go over it. Just get it. We'll start there because I don't want anyone to think that we even close to these nasty creatures. You understand? They can't even eat. Like these aren't the same ones that be eating their rice and curry with their fingers. No, that's Ethiopia.
Yeah, they do it too. Though.
They just nasty. Might as well start this.
Genesis chapter 21, verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born until Abraham mocked him.
So let's just for a little bit of a rundown for time's sake. Abraham, the prophet Abraham, you understand? This man had 2 wives. You understand? He had a wife of our people, and he ended up having a wife of another race, which is not according to the scriptures. He slipped up. You understand? He felt weak in his desires or whatever the case may be, and ended up marrying a woman that was not ours. And they birthed the son. You understand? They birthed a son named Ishmael. You understand? And this boy, even though he did come from the loins of Abraham, and so did Isaac. So technically, Isaac and Ishmael would be brothers, right? But of course, Islam, they like to teach that because that Ishmael was also Abraham's seed, the same way Isaac was, and the Israelites descend from Isaac, they believe that we are all family. You understand? That we're family, we're brother, we're sister, this, we're brother, sister, that. That's why you see them being so welcome to get us to their side. They're using the ploy that works with them people. But we're about to show you real quick that we are not the same people, right? If you want to be like them, I'm sorry. I truly am. You to go get therapy. You understand? But it is what it is. So we're going to read this scripture to give you a little bit more of understanding that Ishmael is not our people. by at all. Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son.
You understand? So this is Abraham's rib, Sarah. You understand? Sarah was like, yeah, no, this ain't happening no more. She's, I'm tired of seeing this nasty face African. She smells horrible. She gets into the shower, smelling that, and gets right back out smelling the damn same. You understand? Then she keeps seeing this little boy, Ishmael. Probably didn't even take after Abraham's liking either. He probably was a little ugly too. But I don't know. I'm just saying. But at the same time, she was over it. She was like, I'm tired of seeing this heathen. It was already a big enough, you already sinned, so to marrying her, so what's one more on top of that? You understand? Right. He should technically, by law, he shouldn't do it. But I said men fall weak in certain aspects, and usually that aspect is over women. That's one of the greatest things that bring a man to his demise is listening to a female. How do we know that? How do we know that? Because Adam did the first one. Adam was the very first one to mess up massively. Not only massively, just in a small extent. That was a global event. You understand? That set us on the course of hell that we should never have to see. Yeah, right. All from listening to that goofy little Eve. You understand? Eve must have been a pretty attractive looking for Adam to be like, yeah, let's do it, baby. Nah. You understand? But yeah. Women create destruction. That's why women can never be in charge. You understand? That's like you promised by God to have a beautiful damn life. And you stupid enough to listen to some other human being and disobey God and then convince your husband to do the same thing, you deserve to go through years of retarded suffering. Right. That was a retarded act. And right now, he shouldn't have ever married. He should have never even married this woman. I'm talking about Abraham. Mm-hmm. And he should have never got with her. And Sarah knew that. Sarah knew she's okay. Well, that he's technically not supposed to be with this John. And if I'm not mistaken, she was the reason he did first. He married Hagar, the African or the Egyptian, technically, because of Sarah. Sarah was barren, so she couldn't have no kids, and she wanted Abraham's seed or his seed to continue. So he said, she's like, why don't you just go rod this African down real quick, have this little baby so you can give an inheritance to. But then after she did that, look who's pregnant now. So she realized, well, damn, I'm pregnant now. You don't need these two no more. You understand? So might as well just cast them, get them out this place. We good now. We good. I got a baby in me. You don't need that boy. You don't need that other African in the house no more. You understand? So go ahead.
For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son.
You understand? So she's saying that she's like, well, this bastard, technically, in the eyes of, let's say you watch Game of Thrones or whatever the case may be, they call it a bastard, a son that wasn't born through proper wedlock. You understand? Of course, it was proper, but I'm saying bastard in the sense of it wasn't born through an Israelite marriage. It was born through sin, right? So at the end of the day, she's like, yeah, we getting these people, we got to get them gone because this child inside my belly, my womb right now, he's going to get the inheritance. And, that's what she said.
It's like if I could, what's even crazy about that is she was all game to give, like you said, give Abraham to this bondwoman. And then so as she found out, knowing that the oldest child usually gets the inheritance, once she realized that Isaac wasn't going to, her son wasn't going to get the inheritance, now she want to say, get rid of this. Now she, like, it really is, even in the two sins that, or the two, breaking the law that Abraham did, they both came from him, like you said, listening to her and listening to her be, her selfishness is the reason that he had succumbed to.
You understand? She did basically what Eve did.
Right.
She did the same naive act and thought about herself over everything else. You understand? Well, kind of. At least her giving Hagar to him was more along the lines of that was her trying to look out for, his seed, but she could have like go marry an Israelite.
Right.
You understand? So really, if you think about the, like, in my mind, how I would think is like she left a loophole to her strategy. Meaning, like, if she had like a way that if she did end up getting pregnant, she get them gone. You understand? But because she gave Abraham a sister, another Israelite woman to marry, he would have never thrown her away. Because there would be no need to. You understand? But him being with Hagar would be basically a everyday reminder that he up. It's like keeping your sin with you on your pocket. You understand? But she realizes, okay, well, I give her the African, and then I do get pregnant. we can just cast her out,
right?
Because she's, feel me. That was her way of basically leaving it, so she would always be in the right.
So I was going to say as well. Do you think it could have been also that she felt the disappointment of not being able to have a child for him? So like so he would still have favor on her. She made that. She presented that to him, like, how about you can do this, and and maybe she felt that it would give him more pleasure towards her. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but if you would have got more pleasure, like she would have got pleasure regardless. She would have got more pleasure if she gave him an Israelite.
Right.
I mean, he could have just turned. Really, what it was is he was too under his rib. You understand? Because he could have easily said, "No, I ain't gonna marry you." I literally could have said that. I appreciate the sentiment, or I could just go get one of these other sisters. But she in those certain light, she had the right spirit, but the fact that she chose the heathen was off. Right. So at the end of the day, he ended up saying, "Okay, well, I got a baby by my rib, my Israelite woman. So I don't really need these two no more for real. For real. Kind of janky, but it's what he did. Is what he did. He sinned again. Go ahead.
Khan. Heir was my son, even with Isaac. Verse 11. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. Verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight.
Now, what does it mean to be grievous?
To be like a burden?
Right, it's to be hard. Even if it was by a Nazi African, he still had a son. That was technically his first son. Right. You understand? So Luke, and it's not like the kid was like one or a toddler. Like, he had time with this child. You feel my point? So at the end of the day, did he? Yeah,
he called him a young lad. So
he was probably 6, 7, maybe something around there. I know at the time frames of life were a lot longer back then. But at the end of the day, he was still losing his son. And so many brothers and sisters in this world, well, majority of brothers and sisters don't lose their kids as much, unless willingly. They understand the pain of losing a child. And so that's why it was grievous on him. And it was hard, so hard pill to swallow. And like an angel of the Lord came and told him, don't let this be, don't let this be the end of you. You understand that you'll come back from this. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, verse 13. No, middle of verse 12. Grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because thy bondwoman, and all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
You understand? So at the end of the day, it was more along the lines of the Lord was like, I want Isaac to be your heir. You understand? The Lord made a choice, and what was that? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
You understand? So out of a specific type of love that the Lord has for Abraham, he still gave Abraham's firstborn son Ishmael kind of like scraps. You understand? He gave him a blessing for like a pity blessing. You understand? I mean, he's still going to be great. You understand? Even though he's not going to be the chosen child, I'm still going to make sure that he's still a great child. Go ahead.
Kind of kind. And slide fourth verse.
If you could, as you can see on this earth right now, Arabs that believe, the Arab culture, they thrive. Like I said, they wealthy. Like I said, you got Dubai out there, Saudi Arabia. They live in great. They became a great people. That's why you can see them on our TVs trying to teach us stuff or whatever the case may be. But the Lord held out on his word to Abraham, like he always does. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away.
You understand? Abraham, like a G, woke up and said, he grabbed some bread and water. Some bread and water. That's like he grabbed like a loaf of bread and a canteen of water, put it in her backpack or her satchel, and said, "Now go." That's gangster. Right. Talk about kicking a John to the curb. You know, so that's almost a definition of saying F you and that kid. You know, said that's the same spirit. Now, anybody you can skip down and say to Jacob. You understand? Let people know that. So since he cast out Ishmael and Hagar, the mother and the son, that right there eradicated them from the Israelite bloodline, right? And we're going to bring out the precept to show you. So Arabs come from the son Ishmael from Abraham, which technically we do share the same forefather Abraham. But then the thing is that we don't have to have it. Abraham gave birth to the chosen seed, which was Isaac. And after Isaac had a child. And that child was named Jacob. You understand? And Jacob had 12 sons. You know, I ain't naming all of them. But he had 12 sons. And through each 12 of those sons came a great nation of people. Right. You understand? Which bring together 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Jacob ended up having his name changed to Israel when he wrestled with an angel. Right. You understand? And lost. He lost. Definitely lost. He ain't wrestling with angels, people. And winning. You understand? And that's where our bloodline comes from. Being blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, our bloodline came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? That's the importance right there. The Arabs, they bloodline just came from Abraham and then Ishmael. You understand? So think about like a tree trunk, and they went separate ways. You understand? So we can all say, yeah, technically we can follow our history back all the way to Abraham, but the thing is that Ishmael got his own little separate blessing when he was kicked away, when he was given bread and water and said shalom too. After that, Isaac gave birth to Jacob, and the Lord gave Jacob a blessing after he wrestled with the angel, which separated the bloodlines in totality, and now we're two separate people. Right. You understand? Because everyone can technically say, yeah, we can all go back to Adam and Eve. It doesn't make it so we're the same people, though. The blessings that the tree trunk would be Adam and Eve, and then after the sin they created, the babies and so forth, this thing about the roots going down, or technically it'd be more branching off, not the roots. It'd be the races of people from the foundation of Adam and Eve and Noah and his kids, and so Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Yeah, I didn't want to think that. Ham. They had kids and so forth, so such, and each one received blessings and so forth and so such. And the Lord separated them into different races of people. Now we're here today. So to say that we're the same people as Arabs, don't let them ever tell you that. Don't let them say, "Hey, brother." No, you nasty hell. No. Nope. So that's just that. Now let's go into the idolatry. We'll bring some scriptures about how it's wrong to worship idols, and how Islam says that Muhammad went down there and changed the idol worship laws over in his country, which definitely didn't. They might have made it worse. Definitely made it worse.
Did you want to do, since we was already on it, the wild man scripture? You should bear a son. He will be a wild man.
Yeah, let's get that first. This is too beautiful.
God will comment, sir. Genesis 16, chapter 16, verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael.
You understand? So this is a little bit before what we just read. You understand? When they found out that Hagar was pregnant with Abraham's son, and they decided to name him Ishmael, right? Go ahead.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Verse 12, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Again, it's saying the Lord called him a wild man. You understand? You should already know. I'm gonna send you something. Is there any way we can pull it up? I watched this today. It just made me. You understand? You should be able to see the craziness in these Arabs. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it's wrong. This and this and that." It's not. It's just facts. You understand? These Arabs go around and strap bombs to their chest to go instead of putting it in like a box or in a car, or the traditional ways that keep you alive when you do it. These Arabs are a little bit more crazy and wild with it. You know, they said they were what? What? Tell people?
Wild men.
Wild men. You understand? It's pretty crazy. You must not be all the way in the head to think that your way of showing acts of war with another race of people would be to strap the bomb on your chest or run up into a building. You understand? Just blow up the place. Like, there are hundreds of different types of ways to show war, acts of war, whatever the case. They don't care about none of that. They are crazy people. Who was it that they ended up getting with SEAL Team 6? What was it?
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. He's there. Yeah. Osama bin Laden. Just think how much torture and crazy. Just think about all the things that they say about him being so crazy, and he was a murderer and a terrorist. Look what they did to Twin Towers and the Trade Center and all that. These people are wild. Like they will kill themselves to get a point across. Right. Like then that's on blood because they die. You understand? They don't care. That's wild. Like we lose that term all the time. Like we see something stupid, we're like, yo, that's what? That's wild as hell. What? Because that's how Arab culture. You understand? And you can't have a wild leader. You understand? The Lord knew that. They come in. You can't have a wild leader, or how else? Then they're truly going to be monsters. You know, they are already doing it, but to have the chosen people of God be from our race, you never get right. Like, ever get right. So the Lord has had to say nah to that. But I'm gonna have brother pull up this video real quick. I just saw it today. It was on topic and it made me laugh. So it's really for me and you a little bit. One more time. One more time. It's right there. The bomb. Insanity, another word for wild. You understand? And I love Family Guy. They don't give a damn.
Right.
You understand? But it's so heavy because he said when you about to go assassinate somebody, and that's literally what they do when they go start war, go into a police station or whatever the case might be. They go over there with the bomb, do that little, and then just boom. You understand? And I love how he said Ahmed, because then I started thinking of the dude that Jeff Dunham does the puppets and Ahmed the terrorist. Who? Jeff Dunham?
No. Yeah.
No, Jeff Dunham's the oppressor. But he had his puppet. It's just a skeleton, and he calls it Ahmed the terrorist.
Oh, wow.
And his name is Ahmed. So that's what brought me to it. He's a great comedian. Great comedian. If you haven't seen him, watch him. But so back to the point. That just goes to show the reason why the Lord, not even that, the fact that Stewie is an oppressor, he said he loves the wildness in him. And guess what? Guess after that, the so-called, the oppressor now, so-called white man, he going around doing the same things to other nations. You understand? You might not start bombing nations. They doing it the smart way. They're just doing it from a drone, but they doing the same thing. They probably ain't making the sound. I would be if I was in that computer room launching these bombs. It's like we playing Modern Warfare, Call of Duty at home, killing fake things. The oppressor playing Call of Duty in real life, killing real things. You understand? SEAL Team 6 and all these different types of things that you play on the game. These things happen to real life people. You understand? All by the oppressor, and then we think it's a game, literally. You understand? I'm not saying it's not a great game, but it's just reality is they're playing it on a larger scale, and real people die because they learn that shit.
I was gonna say, the way they present it kind of makes you numb to what they do to these people in the act of war, and now you don't feel sorry or you don't feel remorseful to these people, even though they going and just killing kids and everything.
Like if you actually look at like the maps and stuff they created, these are in residential housings. They're actually already desolate places that have already been pre-bombed, and all in airports. Because everyone knows if you can kill the airlines, you trap the race, and you trap the people on that land. And that's why they doing cruise ships would be just another way for a battleship. Like they giving us things to make it so when they talk about World War III, it's not a big deal.
Right.
You understand? They'd be like, well, it's gonna work out. Is it really now? Probably not. No, it really won't. Not for y'all unless you join Isupk. But let's go to the idols.
Leviticus chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
The Lord shall what?
Scatter you among the nations.
And the Lord scattered us, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, all across the globe. We living with Arabs. We living with Chinese, Japanese, the oppressor, Africans. We're all across the globe, joining all these other races of people for no good reason. Go ahead.
And ye shall be left few in numbers among the heathen.
But we will be left few in numbers amongst the heathen, meaning that we aren't going to be able to we don't have any type of numbers compared to them. The amount of, like, when they say we the minority, they aren't joking.
Right.
You understand? They got like 300,000 people there. Only like 50,000 are us. You understand? We couldn't fight back if we wanted to. Go ahead.
Whether the Lord shall lead you, verse 28, and there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands.
You said what?
Ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands.
You understand? We will serve gods in these other nations' lands, all across the globe. And we're going to worship their gods with the things that they built. You understand? You go to Christianity, what do they got? They got the stupid cross. But I don't know why people love the cross so much. Like, if you love Christ, why are you repping the thing that they say they killed them on? Like, you think Christ's going to come back, see you with the cross, and be like, yeah, you my nigga. What? You walking around, like, if he was killed on a cross, why would Jesus love crosses? Why? And I already know y'all going to say, well, it wasn't a real cross, it was a tree. That's fine, but he was still laid out in that same formation. Regardless if it was not a legitimate carved out cross, he was put in the shape of a cross. You understand? That's the thing. Like, why would you want to show? That's like me wearing the Glock 19 that I used to kill your brother with on my chain. Every time you see me, now you gotta see the weapon that killed your brother. Why would Christ deal with you? He looking at you like, you disrespectful. Now he gonna look at you like, you got me. You feel me? Like, I don't know why people think that you would want to wear a cross representing the way he died. That's disrespectful. Like, why couldn't you do something less, like, in your face? Right? But we over here worshiping that. We're worshiping, well, we're gonna pull up the video with the Arabs and them kissing they nasty statue or whatever they rock. Yes, we follow that. We follow money. You get it tattooed all over your body. What else we follow? We follow Judaism. We follow all religions and then get it tatted on our body, wear the jewelry around our neck, and so forth and so such. Just disrespecting the Lord and worshiping idols. You understand? And not even that. It's not in their idols or their representations that have nothing to do with our culture in itself. Like, if you're gonna wear something about our people, or if you're gonna wear something, let it be at least about a good thing for us. Like, rep something that's beneficial to you, or that's repping the God that gave you life. Stop repping the things that everyone else, what they believe. Right. You walking around with crystals on your neck and in your hair like a goofy female. You walking around with big tattoos and crosses all over your nasty body somewhere. What else? What else people rocking? You over here walking around with an unk, which is just another version of a penis. Like, what? I can't. Y'all is walking around, y'all wearing these suits and ties which represent the other penis. Like, come on, I can't. They just too. Y'all just different. I mean, y'all. I just mean our people, because we just something special, and it's more special ahead than anything else. But this is what. So the Arabs said that they believe that they're not allowed to serve no idols. Idols is something that was built or put in place for them to worship. That's the crazy thing. Like, that Arab in the very first video was going around saying that Muhammad's whole point is that he went to Mecca and saw things that were abominations like idolatry, which is worshiping a man-made entity or in any form of something that was not God. You understand? And that's the thing. I don't even know their logic. Even if it was a meteor, I don't know why it would not. I don't know why you classify it as God.
I believe that they say that the meteor fell out the sky, and Abraham built his house on that rock. That's what I hear Muslims say, or people who worship Islam say.
Either way, Muhammad literally said in what we just read that he saw the people committing adultery and it was an abomination. So why did he let it continue? My point, because it wasn't about what they were doing; it was about the fact that he wasn't in charge of what they were doing.
You want this?
You understand? They're saying that they like to claim and say that they're not allowed to worship idols. If they can't worship idols, what is that big rock right there? What is that big contraption or statue, whatever you want to call it? You see all this is people. These are people. Right. Those are Arabs. All that fuzz that looks like static, that's people bowing down and worshiping this. If that fell from the heavens, like they claim, it's very well put together.
It's like it's so this is like
That's that
casing.
Yeah, it's a casing. I don't. It's only like a small rock the size of like a head. But I'm just saying.
They got the skirt around it. They got like a little skirt around it.
It's got fringes. But so this contraption right here is the home to a rock. Rock. It's bigger than our houses. And all these people go around, they circle it 5, 7 times.
Something like that.
They circle the rock in Mecca like 5 or 7 times. This entity, this big contraption or this house for an inanimate object, they circle this thing either 5 or 7 times. That's a lot of times. That's a big thing to walk. And you got all these other people to worry about. They probably smell horrible in there. They all got to wear white, whatever the case may be. But really, wonder if this. Do you think these show? We'll finish it. How? How do you circle it 7 damn times, pray towards it, but don't worship it? Why? What? I'm pretty sure you're supposed to pray to the thing you worship, or else it's not worshiping. What's the definition of worship? I'm grabbing my. This is gonna piss me off. Worship, the feeling of expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. You understand? That's the whole point. They are showing reverence to the rock. So Allah isn't some entity in the sky. It's a pebble. It's a pebble that you'd skip in a lake or something like that, or use it as a doorstop. You understand? Go ahead.
It's like I was gonna say, if they didn't worship it, then you know what I'm saying? You know how we pray towards the east, of course. But like if we ever went to Jerusalem, we wouldn't stand in the middle of an object and circle around it, and everybody prays towards that one idol.
You understand? The only reason we play to the east is because Jerusalem is in the east. Are we in Jerusalem? No, we're not. No, we're not. So of course we got to. We got to play towards our home. You understand? But these people are in their home. Apparently now some of them going to face east, west, north, and south. I think they're circling it and everyone's praying at the same time from all directions. Now they just praying in a 360. Like they're north, northwest, northeastern, southeastern, southwestern, southwestern, all these areas. So basically, for the fact of the matter, the people that are not facing east when they pray to that rock are technically not following their own belief. Because you got to pray to the east, right? How are they praying to the east? If they're facing west, facing rock.
Well, I think they pray to the west. They pray to the west because
okay, then some of them are facing north. Either way, someone's facing the wrong goddamn way.
Majority of them is facing the wrong way.
Yeah. 45 degrees of them are good. But I can't believe what he's like. They all face it and they all pray to it, but they don't worship it. You only pray to something that you worship. And I know this ain't hearing them. It's a rock. Go ahead. You see how part of the video, did they not just say at the very beginning of the video that if they got to wear white, they had to wear white with no stitched clothing. Females could have stitched clothing, but had to still wear white and wear a hijab or a head covering. The video, they're wearing pink, yellow, blue, red. They wear all these colors. They don't follow their own religion. They don't give a damn about it. But because if they don't show up and do these things, they'll be ostracized. You understand? They will be like, if a woman, for example, goes and marries a person outside of their race, they usually can't even attend these. You understand? They can't. They get shunned. They get banished the same way the mom and the son did out of Abraham's house. So they don't even follow their own. That's the whole point. Go ahead. That looks horrible. Probably this smell horrible. Barefoot. Asian. You got like 30,000 people there. They talking about we sacrifice a sheep to feed the people. Yeah, I wanted to see them all make love to stone one after another. They ran trains on that rock. That's disgusting. They all have it. Oh, beware! All Arabs have hepatitis or herpes. Herpes. That's the drug. They all have herpes. They all share the same rock. We got one more video. A couple more scriptures. Yeah, there we go. 14 seconds. So I don't need to see too much. This is some individual person. That's the video you pulled, but this is the video that has them literally doing it. This is someone random person's. It's a circumlate. Yeah, it's all.
It's down.
No, it's not. No, you're still YouTube. Yeah, it's still when man kisses the butt. It's on the cover. Probably, yeah, it's definitely first video. It's definitely. So let's see the audio. So, just for clarification, y'all, when you see the silver outlining is, or the inside of the silver outlining, that's the actual rock, the Mecca, the rock of Mecca that they say is a meteorite from heaven or whatever, or from the sky or in outer space or whatever the case may be. And this outer grayish shell is basically like its little home. And then after you see that shell, it goes into that big entity that everyone was circling earlier. But they claim they don't worship it. Well, damn, first you pray to it, you circle it, and now they all kiss the actual rock itself. You understand? At least once a year, 30, 50, 60,000 people at a time. You understand? Really, to me, this looks like they kissing the butthole. But this is what they do. But the thing is that they all get to kiss this one rock, this one small rock, maybe the same size as like my head. And the thing is that there's 60,000 people putting their lips on this rock. That is nasty as hell. If one person with that rock has herpes, they all have herpes. So if I'm saving y'all, don't kiss an Arab. You're most likely gonna be jammed up for the rest of your life. Just remember that when you go follow Islam, that you're gonna be this old guy.
So sir, I wonder what they did during COVID. That's my question. Did they shut down his whole, or did they let everybody catch COVID? Probably everybody who came and did this probably died. And one more thing I was gonna say, you can tell how much of a deity this is to those Arabs over there, that this man has to be the one to guide his head into this thing. Like, this is a soldier that got this old man's hand in his neck, and he's gonna put it, he won't even trust him to go and do it himself, because this thing is protected by Arabs.
You got security for a rock. And it's not even like a diamond rock. It has no legitimate worth. This is just a rock that they claim fell from the sky. There's no fact that they claim it came from the sky. How can you know that? Did they film it? Did they, you know, how would they know? I'm not saying it's impossible. It's not impossible. Meteors do hit the earth. But the fact of the matter is, why worship it even at that? Like, now we're being disrespectful to dinosaurs. Dinosaurs got killed by rocks like that. Now, all you vegans, you better go attack them. Baby, let's watch the rest of it then. That's what the Africans do with real life elephant butts. You wear white. You wear white. And look at this. It's not like they wipe it off with like a hand sanitizer rag and nothing. They just go right back in there and just share the rock. That's what I mean. They running trains on a rock. Happily. No condom. Like, he didn't even wipe it off with his hand or nothing. Like, no. It's trifling. It's flat. It hurt my brain. The music is something different. And I guarantee you that security guard thinks he has the best job in life.
Oh, yeah, constant.
He's probably getting paid a hell of a lot of money to be there. He's guarding the most precious rock on earth. His feet. Really, his most period. You gotta think, what other people worship a rock? What are you gonna say though?
I was gonna say, like, this Arab right here, he's so exhausted from the experience of being his God, his deity, that this you can see the young dude, yeah, he gotta walk him off the
No, he's gonna get a piggyback ride.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's gonna get a piggyback ride. That rock took his soul. That rock is a soul snatcher. Damn. Damn, I only know one creature on earth that can steal a motherfucking soul through lips. Let me stop. But let's get one scripture on the idol worship because it's already 9. Whew.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1.
Perfect.
Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images.
You say what?
Make you no idols.
We should make no what?
No idols.
This rock is a what?
Idol.
You understand? We should not make us no idols, meaning a specific image or physical display of something that we claim to worship. Like Israel, we only worship, or blacks and Natives, we're only supposed to worship the Most High living God.
Right.
You understand? The thing about that is, guess what we don't do? We can't see him. You understand? So we pray to him. We face the east because our homeland is Israel. It's not that place that they going to. But we got to pray to him. You understand? And we don't, circle nothing. We don't got to kiss nothing and get herpes together. We don't got to do none of that. We just pray to the Lord and face the east whenever you want. You understand? You get the right, like they say you have to do it 5 times a day. You don't got to pray to the Lord every day. You don't got to do it every 6 minutes. You don't got to do it. If you have to pray for something, face the east. Right? Don't get on your hands and knees like a beggar either. But you can stand up, face the east, put your hands up. Same way like in Dragon Ball Z, they give Goku energy for the spirit bomb. Pray like that, but to the east. Right? You understand? That's how you reverence the Most High. You don't gotta be like them and create a image or a entity or something to actually look at and physically touch to pray to the Lord. The Lord is untouched. He's untouchable. You understand? The only way you can even try to be one with the Lord is to follow his law, statutes, commandments. Right. Other than that, you can't do some goofy things like this. To all you men that would like to do to the Lord like they do to Mecca, you can't. And you just can't be like that. Yeah, right. You feel me? The Lord's a father. You don't get up on your father and kiss him and get on your knees. No, you don't do none of that. Right. Go ahead.
Neither rear you up a standing image.
And neither rear you up a standing image. A standing image is like that Christian cross. You understand? In majority of churches, especially in the Catholic religions, they have a cross with actual depiction of Christ being nailed to it. You understand? And that's horrible. That's horrible. I don't see why the hell Christ would want to come into your church, if he even cared, to come into your church and see a replica of him on the worst day of his life hanging from a cross. That's disrespectful. see how you can say, oh, it's an honor, it's an homage. Well, most of the time, even the devil the Bible speaks of, when he creates monuments of past and fallen people that did reverence to their country, they're in the chair, they standing up, speaking or teaching or looking at as referred. In our people's beliefs in Christianity and Catholicism or whatever the case may be, when we put up reverences of our king, it's him dead. It's of him on his worst day of his life. How is that being honored? How is that showing reverence and love? It's not. That's a terrible reminder. Aren't there things in your specific individual lives that you wish you could forget? Aren't there that you wish no one would ever bring up and put in your face because it was such a traumatic event? Well, that was a traumatic event for Christ. That was a horrible day, and he at the end he had to ask the Lord to take his spirit because he was in so much pain. You understand? And but you want to put that up and throw it in the front of everyone's faces. Imagine if Christ walked in your door and saw you putting an image of his worst day in front of everybody. Right. You want to talk about triggered? Women talk about, oh, I'm triggered. This triggers me. Well, that would be a damn trigger if I have to say it for myself. Yeah, right. That would make me get the hell up out of that joint because I'm gonna have a panic attack. Like, be realistic. But you want to do it anyway. You disgusting, nasty creatures for promoting our king's death like it was something great. It wasn't great at all. It was pathetic of us that he even had to do it. You should feel ashamed to even have to get up in that situation. I feel ashamed. All Commander Johanna taught us in the name of the Lord and Christ himself that we should be ashamed that Christ even had to get onto that stage and die for us like that. And now we mock him, saying it's reverence. No, it's mocking. Go ahead.
So, like, sir, if I could, and also, you know, if you really felt ashamed as a Christian, if you really felt ashamed of how Christ died, like you said, Commander Johanna teaches us to be ashamed, because what you being ashamed does is it makes you understand and makes you change your life for the reason that Christ died for. And Christians don't feel ashamed enough to change their lives for Christ, for what Christ died for.
Right. You said, and it's sad. Like, Christ legitimately died so you would have the second chance of life. But then after he died, you just went back living the exact same way he told you not to live. You should just be dead right now and never reborn. None of us deserve breaths in our lungs. Right? None of us. We don't deserve to walk. We don't deserve to have kids or see each other happy. We don't even deserve to be born. Christ gave us the opportunity to be born, period. Not born again, I mean born, period. None of us should be alive. This should not exist. You shouldn't exist. Really, it should. All our people should just be extinct like the T-Rex, and all these other races of people could just be living their lives without having to deal with the most disgusting race ever. The ones that forefront the death they can. Yes, we should be ashamed that a king had to die. King is supposed to be the one to watch and protect us. He shouldn't be the one to say, you know what, I'm gonna go die so you don't have to. That's not his role. His role wasn't supposed to be death, but we made it death. Right? What kind of people marched a king into his execution and then helped with it? Help with it. We helped kill Christ. We stoned and lashed and stabbed him all the time with the same devils that we love right now. Because you have an infatuation with the devil. And you hate Christ. You understand? So if you want to make Mecca your God, do it. You don't deserve Christ no way. You understand? Us and Isupk, we'll die about this. We'll die about it. We don't care. We'll die. We'll be reborn. Die again or be reborn, die again or be reborn. We don't care. Life is endless for us. Can you say the same for yourself? Right. Christ makes my life live under the Lord. Well, if you don't serve the Lord of Christ, you might be cut off. Right. Your brother died. The Lord did it. Right. You didn't deserve that, brother, because you didn't deserve your own life. Right. So now it's time for you to suffer a little more. Right. If you don't want to suffer, come into the highest. That's right. Serve God. Serve the king that you sold on a silver platter, or gave up on a silver platter. I don't say sold, it was free. You understand? So come back to the law, statutes, commandments. Learn who you are. Learn how to actually reverence the King that's died for your sins and your past sins, and be anew.
It's like if you want to do this last section of this verse, I know who's getting ready. It's like right into that video you just said. Why?
Sure was.
Neither shall ye set up any images of stone in your land to bow down unto it.
Neither shall we set up any stone in our land to bow down to it. I'm pretty sure we just watched like 6 minutes of them bowing down to a rock. But the Bible says otherwise. So all you Christians, all you people in Islam, all you people on earth that are Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, if you go to Islam, I'm just letting you know you are defacing your king and doing something legitimately taught to us to never do, because it's just nasty. It's disgusting. It's trifling. And you deserve to get all the AIDS and herpes and cancer after you kiss that rock.
Okay.
So avoid kissing things that 30,000 other people have kissed. 800,000 people have kissed. You gotta think this rock has been here since when? Hundreds of years? So enjoy kissing hundreds of worth of herpes. One kiss per blood cell, you're dead. Right, understand? So with that, pass the class over to priest and officer Zion.